Welcome to Storyteller's Corner, the podcast where every episode is a new adventure. Some stories will make you laugh, some will send chills down your spine, and others will make you question everything. But one thing's for sure, you won't want to miss what's next. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into today's story. Because the best tales are the ones you never see coming. The entitled heiress and the family business. The day Amanda's father passed away was the day her entitlement reached its peak. Amanda Sinclair had grown up in luxury. Her father, Richard Sinclair, was a self-made businessman who had started Sinclair Hardware, a family-run chain of high-end hardware stores that had become a staple in the region. Richard had built the company from the ground up, putting in long hours, making sacrifices, and treating his employees like family. Amanda, however, had never worked a day in her life. From the moment she turned 16, she believed she was destined to inherit the empire without lifting a finger. Richard had tried to instill a sense of work ethic in her, but she scoffed at the idea of laboring like a commoner. Instead, she spent her days shopping, throwing extravagant parties, and flaunting her wealth on social media. She referred to her father's employees as peasants, and viewed the company as nothing more than her birthright. When Richard died suddenly of a heart attack, the will reading shattered Amanda's world. Instead of handing the company over to her, Richard had left 51% of the business to his longtime business partner and best friend, Samuel Carter. Amanda was only given 10%. The rest was divided among senior employees who had been with the company for over 20 years. Amanda was livid. "This is a mistake," she shrieked in the lawyer's office. "I'm his only child. I should own the whole thing." The lawyer, a seasoned man who had dealt with countless inheritance disputes, calmly adjusted his glasses. "Your father made it clear that he wanted the business to be run by those who understood and respected it." Amanda stormed out, convinced she could contest the will. She hired expensive lawyers, but Richard had made sure the document was airtight. Amanda had no case. So, she took a different approach. She decided to make Samuel's life a living hell. She showed up at Sinclair Hardware's headquarters unannounced, demanding to be put in charge. Samuel, patient as always, sat her down and explained that running a business required effort, knowledge, and commitment. "You want to be involved? Fine," he said. "You can start by learning the ropes like everyone else. Work in the stores, understand how things operate. If you prove yourself, we can talk." Amanda scoffed. "Me? Work retail? Are you insane?" Samuel shrugged. "Then you don't belong in the business." Amanda stormed out, but she wasn't giving up. She used her 10% ownership to meddle in company affairs. She attempted to fire employees she didn't like, which she legally couldn't do. She started rumors about Samuel being incompetent. She even tried to strong-arm vendors, making outrageous demands in the name of innovation. None of it worked. Samuel and the other board members blocked every move she made. So Amanda escalated. She decided to sabotage the company. She hired an outside consulting firm without permission, telling them to redesign the entire company to be more modern and elite. She instructed them to fire long-term employees, replace affordable products with overpriced luxury brands, and increase prices by 50% across all stores. Samuel and the board shut it down immediately. "You're out of control," Samuel told her in the next board meeting. "You have no idea how business works, and you're going to destroy everything your father built." Amanda sneered. "You're just jealous because you know I have better ideas." Samuel sighed. "Amanda, if you want to be involved, you need to actually learn." Amanda wasn't interested in learning. She wanted control. And when she realized she wasn't going to get it, she decided to burn everything down. The entitled plan backfires. Amanda called a press conference where she publicly trashed the company. She announced that she was being pushed out of her own birthright, accused Samuel of stealing what was rightfully hers, and claimed that the employees were rebelling against her modern vision. She expected public sympathy. Instead, she became a joke. Sinclair Hardware employees exposed her lies on social media, revealing that Amanda had never worked a day in her life. Loyal customers mocked her attempt to gentrify a beloved family brand. Even business analysts called her press conference an embarrassing, self-destructive stunt. But Amanda wasn't done yet. Her final move was to sell her 10% ownership, not to investors, but to a predatory corporate conglomerate known for gutting businesses. She believed she was dealing a death blow to Samuel and the company. Instead, Samuel had already anticipated her move. Before Amanda could finalize the sale, the board called an emergency meeting. They proposed a stock dilution plan, issuing new shares that would reduce Amanda's stake from 10% to less than 1%. Since the board and senior employees controlled the majority, the vote passed effortlessly. Amanda's shares were now worthless. Furious, Amanda tried to sue again, but she had signed the company's bylaws when she inherited her shares, agreeing to the board's authority. She was completely outmaneuvered. The aftermath. With her ownership reduced to nothing, Amanda lost all influence. The corporate conglomerate lost interest in acquiring her shares, and Amanda was left with nothing but a damaged reputation. Samuel and the board continued running Sinclair Hardware the way Richard had always intended, with integrity, hard work, and loyalty. Amanda? She was last seen trying and failing to start a luxury handbag business. Unsurprisingly, she had no idea how to run it, and it folded within a year. Sinclair Hardware, however, thrived. The legacy of Richard Sinclair lived on, not in the hands of an entitled heiress, but in the hands of people who truly cared about it. And Amanda? Well, she learned the hard way that being born into wealth doesn't mean you're entitled to success. That's it for today's episode of Storyteller's Corner. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to follow the podcast and share it with someone who loves a good tale. Got a story idea or something wild that happened to you? Send it my way. I just might tell it in a future episode. Until next time, keep your eyes open, because the best stories are happening all around us.